Sometimes we cry.
This is where we get real about being human. The slip-ups, the regrets, the bad calls, and the funny stories we'd rather forget. Sometimes the worst mistakes are the best. But at the end of the day, we're all just losers. I'm your host, Josh, and this is The Great Mistakes.
For my great successes and my great mistakes.
What's up? Welcome to The Great Mistakes podcast. I'm your host, Josh. This is Benjamin Bunn, owner of Cigar City CrossFit.
Yep.
Entrepreneur, veteran, coffee connoisseur. We'll get into that. All right, let's kick things off. We already talked about drugs and cartels and.
Yeah, we're talking about drugs.
Tell me what you're doing right now. What's your life? What's going on? What's the busy shit?
So, a lot of traveling. We were talking about this when I was on my way here. I'll tell you exactly like what the last 30 days has looked like. So I was at the VFW National Convention a little bit earlier this month, checking that out. I was invited there by an organization called Parade Deck to do a couple panel talks on entrepreneurship, health, wellness, stuff like that. I've got my own opinions about the VFW personally.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, and I will say this: I have, the VFW has lambasted a couple veterans in the press, and I'm going to do them a kindness and not do the same to them. But what I will tell you is that the VFW has a legacy mission that I think is important. That's helping veterans. I think they need to take a look at what what that mission is. I don't know that anybody's struggling right now to get VA benefits or health care.
Maybe a realignment, a restructuring or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Most of the vets I talk to now, like they got educational benefits, they got medical benefits. If they think their VA rating isn't correct, somebody is going to help them do that. There's a way.
Yeah.
But like where I see people having trouble is like transitioning into the private sector. I think a lot of veterans now are probably struggling to build community. I think everybody's kind of struggling to build community.
It's a weird time, man, especially for vets in particular, after GWAT's gone and all these things. It's like, who am I?
Yeah.
You spend your years with if you chose to do this career or wanted to do this thing in the military, it's like all you know is that wars happened for the last 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
And then what do you do next?
Yeah.
And that's been your mind this whole time. It's like, fuck.
And you were involved in it, you know? But I think people are struggling with things like childcare and education for spouses, military spouses who have been supporting, guys and gals for the last 25 years, and now things are calmed down. It's like, what are we doing for those people now?
The unsung heroes.
Yeah. Because listen, if your family unit, and you and I have both seen it, like if you're a dude in special operations or a high performing unit, and there's something wrong at the household, it's immediately apparent. It's immediately apparent in that guy or gal's performance.
I am 100% guilty of. I mean, by my own fault too.
Yeah.
Like being a piece of shit and doing things and ruining everything at home and at work.
Yeah.
To where I implode.
Yeah.
Kicked off teams and all that.
If one thing goes wrong at the house, if the house is jacked up, work gets jacked up, and vice versa. So it's like a tricky balance. But the thing I noticed when I was there is just like the entire VFW is getting ready to age out. In less than a generation, everybody who's a member of the VFW, an active member of the VFW right now, is either going to be dead or no longer ambulatory. So not only do I think they need to revisit kind of their mission, which is great. Like everybody should be doing that, right? If you're a nonprofit, particularly one that has as much lineage as that one, you should be revisiting your mission statement probably about once every 30 years, once a generation at least.
That's maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Just check it out, and make sure it's meeting the needs of the current base.
Yeah.
And I think right now, probably they got some issues going on with mission statement. Probably they got some issues going on with recruitment. But still a good opportunity, and I like to do my best.
And there's so many nonprofits out there too that are doing the exact same thing, just with a twist on it or a different logo.
Yeah, tons of different people all doing the same stuff, and just because you need VA benefits or you need educational benefits or you're having issues with XYZ, it doesn't mean you got to go to the VFW. There's a lot of different resources out there. But I know people love the VFW. They got a chapter model. It's all good. But
I love everybody.
Yeah, I like them all. But I was in Columbus, Ohio. And interestingly enough, Columbus, Ohio.
That's a tough town.
It's a tough town. I'd never been to Ohio in my entire life. And full transparency, if you were to like show me a picture of North America with no state lines on it and ask me to point to Ohio, like I couldn't do it. Like I don't know where Ohio is on the map. You know what I mean?
It might be upside down. Who fucking knows?
I don't know. I just know that like people that are from Ohio and like it seem to be really like serious about the shit, and that everybody else seems to dislike Ohio intensely for whatever reason.
I think that is like a theme, and it's like a kind of a running joke, like everyone hates Ohio or something.
Yeah, and I think, and Ohio is like, is that considered, is Ohio the Midwest? Is that considered the Midwest? Do you guys know? Is it the Midwest?
Pull it up, Manny Bezo.
Yeah, is Ohio the Midwest? But this is the thing, Ohio might be the Midwest, right? But I feel like it's more... It's considered to be the Midwest.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, which is...
But it like trends east. Like if I were to like split, if I was to split the North America in half, would it not be on the east side? I'm just saying we could say that Ohio is in the Middle East is what I'm trying to get to.
Nothing that like the U.S. has designed is like a logical structure.
Yeah,
like,
I just think all those states, we should start calling it the Middle East, not the Midwest.
We call that the Middle East.
Yeah, we should call it the Middle East. That's called
that because we use inches, not centimeters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm pitching that we say that Ohio is in the Middle East, just as I'm looking at it. You know what I mean? Yeah, is that the Midwest?
Where are we at? Show Benjamin where we are because he probably doesn't know.
No, I know about Georgia.
How do you like Dalton so far, man?
Yeah, Dalton's crazy. Like when I got here, so I got here last night, right? I got here last night, and you gave me a good recommendation for some fine Latin cuisine, a nice Mexican place that
Morisco's.
And the first thing Georgia's not exactly known for having a bunch of Mexicans. Not that I thought. Like I live in Florida, where there's tons of people from Mexico. Like it's got a large migrant culture. I would say that there's probably more Mexicans in Florida than there are in Texas. Probably not. That's probably not accurate.
They're Texicans, not Mexicans.
Yeah. So when I was like, oh shit, and listen, if I go to a Vietnamese place and I see Vietnamese people there, I'm like, hell yeah, this is getting ready to be good food. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what the analog for white people would be like if I went into like a Kraft macaroni and cheese place.
Well, it used to be Cracker Barrel, but they kind of fucked that up.
Yeah, the food's banging if there's like an old racist white guy in there.
The statue of the black kid with a fishing pole.
Yeah, it's like messed up.
It is so fucked up.
But I got in there and there was like a ton of Mexican folks in there, and I was like, hell yeah. But like wasn't expecting to see a significant population of Mexican Americans like hanging out in northern Georgia. So that was a little. I was like, okay. I was like, didn't expect that. I was like, good stuff though. Reminds me of home. But I also was like. This morning I was like kind of walking around and there's just like people that like knew each other's names, like just
that's wild, huh?
Yeah. I live in Tampa. There's like 2 million people there. And I low-key, I felt like Jack Reacher. I'm just like this weird 6'3", like
you're like in the wrong place.
Yeah, this like huge guy, like in a hoodie, like walking around looking for a cup of coffee.
I just realized you have one of our shirts on.
Yeah, 100%.
Sweet, thanks.
This is like literally, it's literally one of my favorite shirts. I love Heat. It's one of the best movies ever. I heard they're making a sequel. I hope they don't fuck it up. But I heard Keanu Reeves is going to be in it.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
It's fine.
No complaints.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, we got
cool,
this
small town vibes, but like
it's
good
like,
cup of coffee.
That's what we were saying. It's like small, but it doesn't feel like that.
Good food, but like there was like just some dude in the streets. He's like, "Hey, Bob." He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Hey, they said they're out of coffee in there," and he goes, "Oh, I better leave." And like, like
you're like, "Am I on a fucking movie set?"
Yeah, like I was like, and I'm like standing there like looking huge and
like, damn, Josh really knows how to set this fucking scene up.
Yeah. So like it was weird, but very cool and
the hotel's fucking pretty dope too. That boutique
great.
Hotel, it's almost like the past 2 years they changed some laws. That's what made it better because it used to be like you couldn't have beer outside, whatever those laws where you can't drink outside or walk with it. And it's like what was that 3 years ago? They changed that law, and then it was like overnight downtown just fucking changed for the better. They got a little music venue thing they have outside like every Thursday.
It, man. It doesn't take a lot, man. And like if you can tell everybody they can have a Michelada or a freaking or an IPA or whatever the hell your poison is, and you can just kind of walk down the street when it's hotter than hell.
You want to pour out into the street.
Yeah,
pun intended.
Yeah. But yeah, cool, great little town. Like I said, I came straight from the VFW convention earlier last month or late last month. I was at the University of Health and Performance in
Arkansas.
Northwest Arkansas.
UHP.
UHP, University of Health and Performance. Real smart guy named Matt Hesse started that years ago. I've been visiting Bentonville on and off.
Is that the guy I talked to on the phone? I think he sent me he owns it or runs it or.
That was Matt Boyd.
Okay.
They have like 10 Matts that work over there. They got to sort that
Fucking
out.
white people, man.
Yeah, I know. No shit. Just a bunch of Matts and Chads. All over there talking about pickleball and shit or whatever.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
Guilty.
Hey, look, my Mexican homies one that got me into it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because they have a running club here too, and like
Nice.
I got homies in there. And they're like, you need to come run. I was like, dude, I don't fucking like running.
Hey, look, I'm here to tell you, if there's a run club, you better watch out.
That's a dating site.
It's a dating site. One, that's where people are trying to meet single people. So like, chlamydia is probably getting passed around that run club like the flu. And two, that's like a sure sign of gentrification. So you better watch out.
Oh, shit.
The whites are coming. You know what I mean? Like, they're out here trying to sell me craft popcorn and do a run club or whatever.
No, they're good people, man.
Yeah.
But they got a pickleball club too.
Yeah.
Different club, but there's that thing here, and I'm like, yeah, pickleball is fucking gay, Like my wife's wanting to do it and stuff, and I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it, and it's actually pretty fun.
I've got so many athletic.
I know you live in Tampa. I
live in Tampa, so like
it's like Nashville #2, right?
Yeah, I run. I own a damn CrossFit gym. I'm over 40, and so like, and I'm slightly disenfranchised. So for sure I do jujitsu. It's just like a bunch of recently divorced guys on TRT in that fucking place beating up, just like fighting for their life, fighting to the death.
Yeah, I know. The jujitsu is like, you're supposed to do it. I feel like, and I don't. If you're like a certain age demographics, like, and you don't have a purple belt.
Yeah.
My sister has a purple belt. Is that a good rank? I don't even fucking know.
It's pretty good. I mean, like, what I'll tell you is like, I've low key.
Are you a black belt? Tell me.
Hell no, dude. I'm an adult green belt. I'm not even a blue belt.
And I've
been an adult green belt for like almost 3 years. But this is what I'll tell you. If you've trained jujitsu like kind of regularly for like 2 to 3 years. And like low key, I've been in like physical altercations. Like our house got robbed after the hurricanes last year.
No shit.
Yeah, low key, a guy was like in our yard trying to get into our fence and stuff. And like got it, like, and like no joke, had to like defend myself. You know what I mean? On these goddamn streets.
Yeah, on these streets of Tampa, dude.
And like no joke, like there was like military age males, large men. And if you have any cursory knowledge of combat sports and you've just been practicing it with any regularity for like a couple years, it's like knowing how to use the force. Like you will just wreck their ass.
There's a huge distinguished from people who can handle themselves and have some training and people who don't. It's an immediate fucking It
is.
Yeah.
It's like when you see somebody that's never handled a firearm, they're kind of like, ugh.
It makes you scared as fuck.
Yeah, it's like it's big, it's heavy. You're like, I don't know how it works.
You're making me nervous.
Yeah,
put that fucking thing down.
Bad shit comes out one end of it, but if you've like handled one for like a significant portion of your life, you're like pressure checking it and doing all the
it's like a
stuff.
wrestler, dude. Like once you get, because I did some MMA when I was younger, when it was like they had like the cool Ed Hardy shirts and the fucking jeans. So I was like, I'm an MMA fighter, and I lied about it enough to where I had to actually fucking do it. So
oh shit, yeah.
Fucking this, you get like a wrestler gets a hold of you. You fucking immediately know.
It's horrible.
You immediately know.
Yeah, when a wrestler like just like grabs your arm and you can't get his hand off of you, you're just like, dude, I'm in like having another man putting his hands on you and not being able to get him off of you. It's like,
and you have your clothes on, and it's non-consensual.
Yeah, it's not great. I hate it.
It's an uncomfortable feeling.
But yeah, I do jujitsu at South Tampa Jiu-Jitsu. Shout out to South Tampa Jiu-Jitsu in Tampa. Great academy, great gym, great school. But yeah, like I'm a bit of a hobbyist. I was competing for a little while and actually gained a ton of weight because I was looking to compete again. But I wanted to be heavier, so I wanted to see what it was like to do jujitsu, like weighing around 250 pounds.
You got to meet my buddy Gareth. I think he lives in Miami. He does executive protection with me sometimes. He's like a black belt. I don't know. He's a fucking ninja, dude. Yeah. The guy's a fucking ninja.
Listen,
I'll hook you guys up.
If you're a blue belt and you weigh over 225 pounds, you're a menace. You're a menace to society. You're a menace to every...
I'm in the female weight class.
How much do you weigh?
Like 185.
Damn, dude. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry.
You need to leave.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm out of here. It's been great talking to you. But listen, but I'm like walking around at like 250 right now. I need to cut weight. I need to get back down. It makes my back and knees hurt. I'm thinking about getting on one of these Monjavis or one of these GLP-1s.
Hey, I know a guy, dude.
I know a guy who's got the peptides.
Fucking research only.
Yeah. But adult green belt, but. Went to University of Health and Performance. I was there with Team RWB. I work in partnerships and help manage kind of their gear store and a couple other special projects inside the organization. Team RWB is a veteran service organization dedicated to enriching veteran lives. Yeah. Big thing for them is they're kind of America's leading health and wellness resource for veterans, but also. They're open to anybody. They strong percentage of members, depending on where you're at nationally, has significant amount of civilians in the organization. They've got almost 200 chapters nationwide, 255,000 active members, 455,000 legacy members. Huge organization dedicated to health and wellness. And the guys over at UHP open the campus up about once a year so that we can all do our offsite there. And it's in Bentonville, Arkansas.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, and Bentonville, Arkansas, for those that don't know, is kind of like Silicon Valley for like consumer goods, because that's where Walmart, JB Hunt, which is the largest 3PL probably in the world.
Funny story here. Yeah. Fucking hope they don't find out. I think he works for a different company now, where it started his own. I'm not going to say his name, but he, my family's actually from that part of the whatever, my dad's side.
Okay.
But I got a cousin out there, and he fucking like never finished college. He's like a genius, but just a raging alcoholic, psycho. But he's really fucking smart, and he made up his entire resume in a fake degree and got like a really high position at JB Hunt.
Yeah.
And they still don't know this fucking day. And I think he just got that job, got the experience, made it up as he went, and then transferred out and just fucking crushed it.
Listen, and like, but look, I mean, you would be surprised. Like the first time I went to Bentonville, like it was when I was working for Bravo Sierra.
Money out there.
And we were trying to pitch the brand to Walmart. We got a ton of no's, but eventually got a yes. But like at the time, I didn't know that like Bentonville was special in any way, shape, or form. But like I've been going back and once I was working in consumer goods and startup industries, I found myself in Bentonville like at least once a year. And for sure I'd pitch brands there, and then worked with brokers that kind of help manage partnerships with Walmart for for-profit organizations, and was in and out of Bentonville quite a bit. And that's when I met Matt Hesse. And I remember 4 years ago, he literally just had like a 10,000 square foot weird gym that was just kind of sitting out in the middle of nowhere. And he would show me blueprints and pictures of what the place was going to look like. And I was kind of like, I don't know, dude, like that seems very audacious. Like good.
It's a little much.
Yeah, good.
I support you,
dude. It looks exactly like the pictures he showed me now. Like this, he has built a compound out there, or I guess you could call it a campus, that is singular. Like it's got a 20,000 square foot freaking cafeteria that can serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner to hundreds of people. Huge gym. Several barracks, housing.
So it's like you go there, right, if you're a veteran, and is it a veteran only, or?
So, yeah, right now it's for trans. So University of Health and Performance has a couple different things that they're doing. They're involved in a lot of stuff, but their biggest thing is they take transitioning veterans that are looking to be health and wellness professionals of some variety, and they help them get credentials and really like help them like get a soft landing. And I think like what a lot of people need when they're getting out of the military, I don't like necessarily need somebody to help me with my resume, but I need somebody to help me interview. You know what I mean? Like it's ChatGPT can make my resume, but
for sure.
Yeah, but what I need help doing is explaining to people why I'm valuable.
Well, explaining what you know how to do.
Yeah.
That is also what other people do as a civilian, but explaining it to them their way.
Yeah. And like I think that's important. That's probably more important than known how to make a resume. Probably, right? And I think that's a lot of what UHP is doing. They've got these guys that are aspirational leaders. It's like a bunch of tall, handsome, fit guys. They're great public speakers.
I'm on my way.
Yeah. They took you out there as a mascot. But they have this great curriculum, and they pull people out there, and they have essentially courses that are anywhere from a week all the way up to a month, and people can walk away with their CPT, and they leverage their personal network to kind of help them get placed working out in the economy. So really cool place. Team RWB does their offsites there whenever they because it's a remote organization. So when everybody gets together, we all get together in Bentonville, and it was just like a great opportunity to kind of level set, like talk about what priorities for the end of this year, moving into next year are going to be. And then, of course, we had a chance to, experience pieces of their curriculum. They facilitate a lot of discussions. Took us to like a man-made like whitewater rapids and like all this kind of stuff.
They have that?
Yeah, they have everything in Bentonville. They have everything in Bentonville. That place rocks.
I definitely have partied in Fayetteville, Arkansas a few times. That's where the University of Arkansas is.
Yeah. I've seen that much, but
sick, dude. Fucking cheers.
Hey.
You want to drink some tequila or
no? I could and I would.
The funny thing is, I just threw this shit out here just because I like the shit and it's there. And then on the way in, I just found out he's like, "Oh yeah, I like have a part of that company." Or
yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so no shit. I'm one of the founders for Echelon. So the guy who's
Eric,
Eric Bartel.
Yeah,
him and I both worked.
He's a good guy, man.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we bumped heads when we worked together. But what he's done.
It happens when you got huge dicks, man. Sorry.
I never got a chance to see it up close, but I hear good things. But he's done really good, dude. He built this brand from the ground up. No joke. So both of us, he was the 8th employee for Bravo Sierra, and I was the 9th employee for Bravo Sierra. So Bravo Sierra is a health beauty cosmetic company, native military. These two guys that founded it, or a couple of the founders, was a dude named Charles Kim, who I had known for years. I went to air assault school with him in like 2010.
The hardest school, right?
Hardest 10 days in the Army. It was crazy as hell. Hey, listen, no shade. Air assault school was tough. You know what I mean? And at the time, I already had a long tab, so I knew what hard shit was. Yeah. And people were like, "Yo, is this like the easiest thing you've ever done?" And I was like, "No, I'm objectively miserable."
There's other things that are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could say that.
Yeah, dude. The Army didn't stop making hard shit with the Q course. Like, they got plenty of other opportunities for you to be.
And I tell you what, some of that shit was pretty easy. Because I did it hungover as fuck.
Yeah, there were times where I was being held up in formation. So I'm here to tell you that, Uncle Sam continued to make hard stuff. He didn't stop with like Ranger School and the Q course.
Yeah.
But it would be funny because there's like 18, 19-year-old kids who are like, "Oh my God, you were in the Special Forces." I was like, "Yeah, man. Like I don't walk on water and swim on the land. I'm pretty regular."
Lucky.
Yeah,
I'm a good liar and I know how to steal.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Yeah, you got a job."
Yeah, a couple of you were. I was like, by the way, a couple of you are going to put me in the paint on the road march. So just don't sweat it. And there was like 2 or 3 endurance athletes that just like absolutely laid me out. But I met this guy, Charles Kim, and great guy, and we like bonded over the fact that we're both into CrossFit before it was like wildly popular.
Popular.
They're having trouble. But it was like 2010, I think, and it was like I was in ROTC at the time, and they were like, "Hey, we need you to go to Air Assault. The last 2 people we sent failed, so we're going to lose this slot if you don't go to Air Assault school."
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like 28.
So this was after.
Yeah.
Because you went Army SF and then like an officer, right?
Yeah, so I was enlisted for about 10 years and then spent a significant amount of time in the Special Forces during that time. So I was Green Beret. I had bags of grenades everywhere. You know what I mean? All my bags had 50 grenades in them.
They issue that.
Yeah, they give it to you. They issue you that in valorous medals.
They're $1 at the PX, brother.
Yeah, people were like, "Where'd you get that medal?" Or how'd you get that CIB? I was like, "I bought that shit at Clothing and Sales, man." You know what I mean? You can do it. You can do it too.
You can be anybody you want.
You can be anybody you want to be, man. You can be anybody you want to be. Just don't talk about it too much on the History Channel. It'll bite you in the ass one day.
Just to get this out, I'm a douchebag. So don't start calling me that. I know.
Yeah, listen. This is what I'll tell you. I won't. I probably won't lie about my military service on the History Channel, but you get a couple Coors Lights in me, you know what I'm saying, at the bar, and like, listen, I'll start making some shit up, you know what I mean?
2 Coors Lights and a torta.
Yeah, come on, two grenades turns into 50 really fast. But okay, that was tangential. Where were we? What were we talking about?
Dude, I don't even fucking know. Army shit. You were
talking about Air Assault School. And met this guy named Charles Kim. And later on down the road, he gets out of the military. He has a storied career, spends time in Ranger Battalion, goes and gets his master's, I'm sure, from a top 20 MBA school, and gets a job at Palantir. Palantir's the
bikes.
It's Peter Thiel and that one guy who looks like Vakeman from fucking Ghostbusters or whatever. You know, that's running it. Yeah. He's like kind of like Vakeman, but like kind of mildly Middle Eastern looking. Everybody that works at Palantir are maniacs. All they do is use AI tools to consolidate data, amortize it, and then provide solutions for large organizations. So for anybody that's like confused about what Palantir is, like somebody put that in ChatGPT. That's the mission statement. But when they went IPO, Charles pieced out, took his options, pieced out, probably cashed out, and then linked up with these guys to create his own startup. And startup was Health Beauty Cosmetics. The parent company, which is called Arjolo, started Bravo Sierra, another brand called Intraloop that Charles ended up taking off with. I stuck with Health Beauty Cosmetics because I was having a lot of
obviously.
Yeah, hey, look at this. You know, the ravages of time would be taking full advantage of me were I not moisturizing the way I do. But stuck with that, and then they also stood up this brand, which was Echelon, which was this energy drink. So like no joke, like I was the 9th employee for Bravo Sierra. I stayed with them for 4 years. My options fully vested, and one of the companies that they manage, Arjolo manages. They manage Bravo Sierra. They also manage, Echelon. They pulled me off to start an apparel project, which fell flat on its face. Was not successful, but it was a good try. Nice shot. You may or may not have seen stuff on social, but probably not. But it was going to be called Supply. That one didn't make it. But Eric went on to run Echelon, and he's done a really great job. And he's anchored himself in authenticity. He's got, the people that love Echelon evangelize on behalf of the brand ravenously. You know what I mean? Yeah. He hooks up his people. He treats everybody that works with him really well right now.
That's important.
He's just built a really authentic brand. And in the RTD energy,
I have to bring these guys Dr. Peppers every day.
Listen, hey, that Dr. Pepper though, those 23 flavors, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy shit. But yeah, like. It's also just a unique product, And the RTD energy space, it's just like it's like The Rock and Addison Rae or Jake Paul just sitting there with a bunch of sugar water, and it's just kind of a crock of shit. And it's such a crowded and difficult space. It's so
saturated,
Dude, listen, when we first launched, I did field marketing initiatives. I must have visited like 10 different states. I went into probably 200 GNCs across like a 60-day period. Went in there, handed out stickers, talking to the staff. If there was somebody in the store, I'd buy them an Echelon and put it in their hand. I went hard in the paint.
Yeah.
I was going door to door selling vacuum cleaners.
Well, I give this shit to everybody.
Yeah.
I just love supporting a veteran brand, and it's a fucking product that people should know about. Not just like Army dudes.
Yeah, but it's 100%. Like Eric Bartel's legit. He was an infantry officer. He crushed it. And he's doing good stuff with the brand. But after I bounced after the apparel brand kind of like tanked, and really was kind of like bopping around, and ended up doing some really good work with Warrior Rising, which is a veteran nonprofit that specializes in veteran entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, so at the time, the apparel brand fell flat on its face.
Yep.
I started working for a distilled spirits brand called Cold Zero.
I've bought some of that. Yeah.
Great brand. Kind of helped with fundraising and stuff like that. With that brand, they had a successful fundraise, and around the same time that they had a successful fundraise, I just burned out, man. Like I'd helped stand up Bravo Sierra as like their 9th employee, had a successful exit there, like spent my 4 years there, all my options fully vested, helped them stand up another brand, which was Echelon, helped them stand up the apparel brand, which kind of crashed and burned, but that's like, hey, that's the breaks.
That's how shit happens.
That is how it happens. Yeah. And then worked on the distilled spirits brand all this time, still owning and running a CrossFit gym. Yeah. And I was just
redline.
Yeah. Just really busting my ass, and kind of took a step back to work with Warrior Rising and now Team RWB, and have really enjoyed it. And I love veteran entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is fun.
Yeah, dude.
It's, you know what it is? It's like, it's a way to be creative, I think.
Yeah, look at this. I thought of this a month ago. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it.
Just do it.
What am I gonna do? fucking starve to death? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot of fun. I love veteran entrepreneurship. I'm really passionate about health and wellness. If I'm being honest, like my favorite job is the gym. Just unfortunately, CrossFit gyms or just gyms in general aren't as profitable as I'd like them to be.
No.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I keep a day job, but really enjoy it. Still have opportunities to work with Warrior Rising all the time, and the same is true for Team RWB. So I like to stay connected to the veteran community, even though I'm not active duty anymore. But
you still enjoy a cigarette every now and then.
Yeah, listen, every now and again I got a couple Coors Lights and smoke a heater. You know what I mean? Smoke a couple Hoons. But yeah, I have enjoyed it quite a bit. But I really like working with veteran entrepreneurs. I love working in the health and wellness space. I think it's a big deal. I think a lot of people talk about like veteran suicide and like it's this acute issue, and it is in the veteran community. We over-index on it in a way that's pretty jarring compared to the private sector, specifically men. We over-index on an additional 84% of the individuals that are taking their own lives, both in the private sector and in the military. But I think the answer to that problem is probably much simpler than people think, right? Like if you are exercising daily, just like getting up at the same time every day, drinking water, getting good sleep.
Yeah. Being consistent.
Yeah. Being nice to your partner and vice versa.
Yeah. Having a community.
Yeah. Like I've never met anybody that wasn't suffering from like an acute psychosis. Like I have like an actual imbalance that's out of my control.
Right.
I've never met anybody who was like, I'm getting ready to be number 23 today, who was doing all that stuff.
Right.
And I think like the answer is way more simple than we think. And I think it's just like, hey man, like be nice to folks, build community, exercise daily, like work hard, and like you're going to be fine. And you don't need to be on this David Goggins shit. I don't need you to go run until
I'm a little burnt out on all that. That's why I said like I'm starting a pod. It's going to be veterans, entrepreneurs, whoever the fuck I want, but we don't have to like cry.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking be happy.
It doesn't it doesn't have to be all that. You know what I mean? And I tell people that all the time. And like the first thing I ask veterans when they're like in crisis, whether it's almost always drug and alcohol related.
Yep.
Every single time. Every single time.
I've been there several times.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, what should I? And like, listen, I'm not telling you need to. Like, I don't drink a lot. Very rarely, as a matter of fact. But I'll still go out and have a couple Negronis. Damn it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, brother, it's a great time to be alive. You tell me my wife is pregnant right now, so drive me all around. I'm like, take me to go get a couple.
You get a 9-month DD, dude.
I'm straight. So I'll have a couple Aperol spritz.
And you gotta keep up with her too. So you might as well have a few IPAs.
I'm here for it. If it gets out of control, I'll get on that retartrazide or whatever the stuff is. But
the retartrazide.
Yeah,
we can't say retard, can we?
It's
my podcast.
Yeah, you could say whatever you want. The most recent president has made it pretty clear that it's okay to make fun of disabled people again, I guess. But hey,
you can do anything now.
Yeah, it's no holds barred, guys.
It's the Department of War. What the fuck?
Arguably a better name than defense, because it doesn't seem like we're defending as much as we're actually doing kinetic stuff, i.e. bombing John boats that got a bunch of cocaine on them. But
they could have just like pulled them over like a traffic stop too. There's that.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, there'd have been a bunch of coasties. That'd have been the most exciting thing they'd have done in their entire career.
The content from that, because they have one video that's pretty dope where they did that like a few years ago.
Yeah, they like got on a submarine and the Coast Guard guy was like had like a M249 or something. Like I'm here for that. But yeah, I've enjoyed the work and it's been a lot of fun. But tons of travel right now. Like this is kind of like. From September until November 11th is kind of like fighting season in the veteran service organizations, because that's when between September 11th and Veterans Day, that's like when all the things are happening.
Yeah, I'm actually recording on the 11th with a guy.
Oh, you are?
Justin, shout out. He'll be on here soon. Yeah, he's a BJJ dude.
Okay.
He's a comedian and a veteran.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's go.
They're hilarious. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and so it's a busy time right now. Like I said, I just came I was in Columbus, Ohio, a couple weeks ago. Just left Northwest Arkansas, here in Atlanta now. I'll be home for 2 days, and then I'm off to DC to do more good works out in the community. So it's like I'm at a sprint right now, but I'm having a really, really good time. I'm having a good time. And as long as wherever I land, as long as I can find a good cup of coffee, break a sweat, all that kind of stuff, I'm good to go.
I mean, if you're fulfilled, man, you sleep better.
That's
right?
it. That's it.
Yeah.
I will tell you, Columbus was weird though. Columbus, Ohio, is super weird. Dalton, Florida, Dalton, Georgia, has so far been really good. But it's like my criteria for if a place is good or not is if there's good food and good coffee. If I can't find a good cup of coffee, it's infuriating.
Well, that's why I designed everything the way I did.
Yeah.
You only need to. I'm the same way. I want a good meal and a good cup of Joe in the morning.
I didn't think the coffee was going to be good. You recommended a coffee place. I did not think it was going to be good because when I walked in,
Garmany House.
Yeah, Garmany House. When I walked in, it kind of looked like the Cracker Barrel a little bit.
Yeah,
Cracker Barrel vibes. There's nothing. By the way, there's nothing wrong. If I want to get some fried chicken and potatoes with tomato gravy or whatever, like I'm going to Cracker Barrel.
Right on.
Yeah, and some saltwater taffy. I'm going to Cracker Barrel. But like when I'm looking for a good cup of coffee, like I'm not. So when I walked into Garmany this morning, there was like two short little blonde-haired, what looked to be like, conservative Christian white girls.
Yeah, pickleball players.
And I was like, oh no, this is like not going to be a good cup of coffee. And we talked about this. Yeah. I have criteria for good coffee. Like when I go to a new place, I look at the pictures first. I look at the pictures. If they're holding up the coffee like this and taking a picture of it, and there's like chocolate syrup in it or some shit like that, it's not good coffee. Now, if I look at the pictures and it's taken aerial so that you can see the art on top, the latte art,
good.
That's a good cup of coffee. If there's air plants in the background, good coffee. If it's
What's
like
an air plant?
Like a succulent or something like that.
Dude.
You don't know about it?
No.
You don't know about air plants?
No.
All right, just they'll know.
Pull it up.
Yeah.
Manny Bezo.
Pull up succulents. Yeah. See these guys. Oh. Yeah. So okay. So
they clean the air?
Yeah. No, probably not. They don't do anything other than provide.
Because I've seen some fake science about some shit like that.
Yeah. This guy right here. You see this guy in the little that nice little see-through bowl. That's what you want. And if you go in there. And those are hanging on the wall with like some like kind of classy brass fittings and stuff like that. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
A couple other things you want to see when you're in a coffee place. They got an LGBTQ flag. Good coffee. They got a Black Lives Matter flag.
We'll drop one off there.
Yeah. Good coffee. Good coffee.
Yeah.
Good coffee. I went into D.C. I was in D.C. a couple weeks ago. Maybe like last month, I forget what I was there for some like veteran symposium at the like Federal Chamber of Commerce, which is like kind of wild. I'd never been there before. I was like, whoa, shit, am I supposed to be here? Do you guys not do background checks? But I was like, what the hell, dude? I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be in here. I can't go to Canada right now. But I saw like an LGBTQ flag hanging in the window, and I was like, hell yeah. And I walk in there, and there's this huge, like 6'3", 260-pound guy.
Beautiful woman.
No, just a dude with like an Ohio State hat. And he goes, hey, man, what can I get for you, brother? And I was like, nothing. I was like, you're not going to make me a good cup of coffee. The last thing, you know what I mean? The last thing, if I go in there and there's some guy wearing like a damn 9-line shirt and a Donald Trump hat, that's going to be bad coffee.
You don't want it.
No, dude. Like, I want that person
It's going to cost way more with those tariffs.
And I walked in there and I saw this big ass white boy, and I was like, no. I was like, I walk out. I go 2 blocks over. I walk in. And there was I met this really nice young girl, college student. She was wearing a Buffy the Vampire Slayer shirt that had Rupert.
Done.
So it's like, this is a Josh Whedon show, and like she must have been 4 when the show was actually on television. And the other guy was like, like nerdy person of color, but looked like he listened to a lot of Kid Cudi. You know what I mean? So I was like, this is where I'm going to get the good coffee. You know what I mean? I don't want some MAGA guy making me coffee.
Yeah.
I want a gender fluid person.
You want to not know what their name could be or their sex.
I want them to have a master's in strategic public relations, not employable. That's the person who's making me a good ass cup of coffee every time. You know what I mean? Both. Let me be clear. Both demographics are polite, nice. I'm good.
Right on.
Yeah, I can go eat chicken wings with either, or like vegan hot dogs or whatever whatever they want. But I have found, it has been my experience that if I see those factors inside of a coffee shop, it will be a better
Dude, I almost
cup of
got
coffee.
like fucking jumped in a coffee shop. I had I had this funny shirt my friend bought me. It had Hillary Clinton's face on it. It said "cunt" on the bottom.
Oh,
and I was like, this is pretty aggressive, But
Yeah.
I was like driving across the country,
Yeah.
or going back to Bragg, or some shit.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Obviously, this is a super conservative guy's shirt, and I forgot I had it on. And I didn't think about it because it was like the first time wearing it. And I'm in a car. And where do I go? Asheville.
Oh no.
Yeah, completely.
Oh, no.
And I'm just like tired as shit. Walk in there and almost had to fucking shoot my way out, dude.
I've had people. Dude. I've been to Asheville and been treated poorly just because I'm physically fit and over 6 foot tall.
Yeah, you
like
can't
they're
do
like
that.
I don't like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like I'd like you more if you were like 5'8" and diabetic. Yeah, like I need you to be. Like
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You need way more piercing to
Yeah,
fucking come in here, dude.
you look too likable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you look like you could be the CEO of something. So I don't like that. And I was, you know what I mean? And what I've done?
Capitalist.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
You know the number one way to disarm that and to make it so that you can travel between both parties really easily.
I've been doing it pretty decent.
You've done a great job.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, you have done a great job. For me, because I'm like so tall and jacked.
And handsome.
Yeah, good looking, full head of hair. Crazy as hell how much hair I got. I can't believe it's going gray everywhere, though. It's nuts. Dude, if you put on a set of blue light blocking glasses and grow out a mustache, you can travel between both groups seamlessly.
Really?
It's like having a fucking it's like having
muscle.
a disguise. What's up?
With muscle, too.
I can be just exactly as I am now, like, shout out to hooligans, or hooligan, but I can have a shirt that says, squad goals and clearly has felons on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, this is clearly like.
Everyone likes a good felon bank robber, though.
Yeah.
Even cops.
This is one of my tier 1 going out outfits. All right. This is like, I love this outfit. This is like, I'm like 43.
We should have did a get ready with me this time, dude.
Yeah, we could have. But
I got Lululemon. Man,
what do you got? What are you rocking?
They're these Lululemon.
Are they the commission pants?
I don't know, dude.
You look
they're
good.
stretchy.
Yeah.
And you know that if you break Lululemon clothes,
You get lifetime warranty.
Yeah, that's fucking dope.
You got to wheel and deal with them sometimes. Every now and again, I go in there and they give me the business, and I'm like, God damn it! I used to be a Lululemon ambassador. I shit you not. I shit you not.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, like they took me to Whistler. I was in their global ambassador program. It's crazy as hell. If you Google Benjamin Bunn Lululemon, I bet you I'd come up. But it'd probably be a picture of me hugging somebody or crying or some shit. There's a lot of that going on over. But like I said, it's because I travel between both groups. But yeah, like I could be wearing this outfit right here. I got like a Ford Observations hat on.
Yeah.
Dudes carrying ARs.
If you don't know what that is, it don't fucking matter.
They don't matter.
Yeah.
But if I have a set of blue light blocking glasses on and a mustache, people are like, I would love to sit you down and talk about, subsidized government programs.
What I like to do is I just try to keep equal amount of like conservative and liberal friends. And what ends up happening is I just argue with both. They don't like me.
I play devil's advocate with both.
Everything, yeah.
And there it is. I pop up there. Look at me looking all crazy. Look at that, man. When I was still young and virulent. Look at that. That's a good picture. I'm going to tell you something right now.
Nothing like looking at yourself, right?
Yeah, that's a good looking. That's a good picture. That's a car salesman picture. I'd buy a Toyota. I'd buy.
Celicas, flipping Celicas, dude.
Yeah, I'd buy a Toyota RAV4 from that guy in a heartbeat. Look at that guy. What was that? They were doing something about my good works in the community.
Yeah.
Oh, it was me reflecting on 9/11. Yeah.
All right, let's
Sorry, that's a little somber. Listen, man, it's been a while, dude. It's been 25 years, dude. But yeah, I think that was one of these things where I was like sharing where I was during 9/11, which was crazy because I was like a grown ass man in uniform when 9/11 happened. And
a gay bar next to.
I was at a community,
next to the Twin Tower.
I was at a community college, so not one degree of separation removed. But yeah, I was at a community college when I found out about it. But I was like already in uniform. I'd already been to basic training. Not in the special forces. I was not in the special forces at that time. That didn't happen until later. I started.
So did they take the bags of grenades back from you?
Yes, yeah.
Whenever you became an officer?
Yeah, at that time, circa
you got
2000,
like 30 seconds.
2005, 2006, when you graduated the Q course, they pinned you E6, gave you a Bronze Star and a bag of grenades. That's kind of how it worked back then.
I fucking missed mine. I went too late, I guess.
When'd you go through?
I graduated like 2019.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
I know.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
But I've been like the National Guard since '05.
For a hot minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, yeah. So you've been
I had to I was a support guy and I went to prison and all this shit. So I had to
How long did you go to prison for?
like almost a year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jail or prison?
Like state property.
You went to prison.
Did not get raped. Let's just start there because everyone's
every
time I say that they're like, so how was the fucking rape?
People,
and I'm like,
I feel like people are talking. I don't think there's as much rape happening in prisons as what people.
I think most of it's consensual.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think
Mine was no explain.
From what I've been told, like I said, like I love. So like when I was little, and this is probably like not good, but like I watched the movies both. Was it American Me? Yeah, and Blood In, Blood Out, Bound by Honor, right? Which no shit for a while wasn't even available, but but like heads up, you can now watch it on Hulu. But I watched Blood In, Blood Out, which is like a 3.5 hour movie. It was about some white boy who's in a Mexican gang who goes to prison for a hot minute. Yeah, Miklo, bro. Yeah. He got that placasa and then just ended up in the shit
people
immediately.
have told me about this movie several times.
It's so good,
like,
dude.
I remind them of
Benjamin
this
Bratt,
guy.
So handsome. They remind you of Miklo. Dude, I buy it, bro. I buy that. Yeah.
Someone, because I pretty much have no white friends, so like, besides you, and at my house I'm always cooking out, and they're like, "Man, you're like this dude from the movie." I swear I've heard it.
Yeah, respect though, but like, listen, my stepfather of like over 30 years is Puerto Rican. You know, my mom and my sister are exclusively into men of color. I don't know how I ended up being white, but it's just, it's not bad. You know, I don't have to worry about shit when I get pulled over by the cops, but you know what I mean? But yeah, but like really obsessed with prison culture for a while because I just like was watching it. I love the movie Shot Caller. Like good movies, but so I always listen to these podcasts, and one of the things that is are like they were like back in the 90s, that was happening all over the place because I guess there was just like really, I don't know, whatever, like it was like it was just part of the part of prison culture, but that's not the case anymore. It's just like
you see people with cell phones and shit in jail, like that's wild. Like,
so wait, you were?
But I went when it was hard, dude. You know,
I was in prison when
prison was hard.
They were still lacerating people for disrespect. Now they're all just like eating ramen and talking and posting shit on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
they're making reels, dude. What the fuck, dude?
They are, dude. They're making reels.
Prison influencers, that's a thing.
It is. Yeah. They're like, get ready with me, and in the morning they're like sharpening a shank, you know. All right, so you were in prison for almost a year?
Yeah, all right, so this is fucking wild.
Okay.
So I can talk about it because I've passed all the clearance shit.
Yeah, clearly.
Don't care about losing the clearance anymore.
All good.
And also the dude who looked out for me can't get in trouble because he's retired. So
okay.
So I was already in the National Guard. Like I go to like airborne school and all that shit. Like come back. So I'm like 18, right?
Yeah.
I start hanging out with the same old fucking gangsters I used to roll with as a kid. You know?
Yeah.
So go back home, do all that shit. Long story short, or short version for this show. Some things were stolen. I was there. Didn't necessarily do all of it.
Yeah.
But I knew about it because I was there.
You were doing crime?
I was in a criminal, not an organization, a circle of people who do crime.
Yeah, but no, I'm familiar with this.
I
get you. People make it out to seem like it's worse than what it is. You know what I mean?
Come to find out, everybody snitches.
Everybody, dude.
Except for me.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I got probation, and but like the first sergeant I had at the time, so he like looked out for me, right?
Yeah.
He was like, "No, I think you're pretty cool, so like we're gonna like keep this on the low, dude." So I was like literally enlisted in the military, the National Guard, and in fucking jail.
Oh my god!
Like, and apparently there's a duration that you can have that status as a soldier.
Yeah.
And it's as long as it's under a year, you're good.
You're good.
That's like a regulation.
What year was this when this happened?
This was 2006.
And then later on down the road, you went to selection and Special Forces qualification course.
Yes, bro.
Let's go, dude.
All right,
I love that.
We got time. All right, cool. So
we got time. We got time.
So like that happens. And the craziest thing is, man, like I probably could have gotten out of these charges because everybody says they're innocent, but I definitely could have gotten out of it. I'm just a fucking poor kid, though. I don't have. You know, in America, you got to have money to be innocent. That's what it fucking comes down to.
I got in a lot of trouble when I was in high school, and I was the one that really got beat over the head because my mom's a school teacher, and like the other guy's dad was a 1-star general, and the other guy's dad was a sheriff in an adjacent county.
You're fucked.
They're good to go. They're good to go.
Get in trouble, you know, whatever. We all get rolled up.
Yeah.
And I'm like the only dude that was like, I ain't saying shit, suck my dick, fuck you. You know?
Yeah.
And that didn't work out well for me.
10 toes down, you know?
Yeah. So get locked up. The fucked up part is, dude, they were like actually kind of screwing me over on. There's this shit called, listen to this, dead time.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this?
Yes.
You can go to like a city.
Dead time versus good time.
So you get sentenced in court.
Yeah.
You wait until you go to the state facility. You have to wait somewhere, and
Yeah.
it's not out at home. So I sat in a city jail for 4 months.
Yeah.
I only got sentenced to a 6-month thing.
But you were hanging out.
Waiting to go.
In
4 months in a city jail.
Yeah.
To go do. It ended up being a little longer than that. You know, it was just so fucked up.
So you went from city to the state facility?
Yeah. And it was
How was the city facility? Probably like okay?
No, it's worse. That's the funny thing is prison is like a lot more chill and fun.
Because it's a bunch of people. It's a bunch of tourists in the city jail. A bunch of dudes just coming and going.
In and out.
And for some of the people at the state prison, they're just like,
that's their career.
It's my forever home, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're in there with Yankee candles and shit. They're like, this is where I live, dude.
Yeah, it's wild, man. So it wasn't like it was like a lower level prison. It was still a prison, but it was like for not as violent people.
Yeah.
And the sickest part is, man, like you get jobs in prison. You know, everyone's got you wake up, you go to work. Like that's like a thing, right? And some people are the cooks. Some people are like clean things here. Some people wash the sheriff's car or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
And like it was a real small town in Georgia. So this place was in Cedartown, the prison, little prison thing. And I ended up like talking to the warden one day at the prison, and he's like, "You seem like not like the others." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I fucked up, and
you seem very articulate."
Yeah. And I seemed like a nice 18-year-old white kid, you know.
Yeah,
and he was like, so I told him like, "Yeah, I fucked up and this and that," and I'm actually in the National Guard. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So he's like, "I got a job for you, dude."
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a job as like a laborer for this city of Aragon, Georgia, which wasn't even at the prison. So every day, there's only one of these jobs available.
Yeah.
Only one person got this out of however many people at this prison.
Yeah.
I went without guards and everything. They picked me up in a truck. I'm in prison. So they would come, these two city workers, like 50-year-old fucking dudes, like would come pick me up in a city truck. I'd go out, to this city, and I was like the trash man. I would like do maintenance on vehicles. No security, no guard at all.
Just hanging out.
I'm just out there.
Yeah, because
chilling,
what are you gonna do? You know, it's not like you're doing. It's not like you're doing a 20-year bid,
right?
You know, you're like, I'll do anything to get out. You know.
Yeah. So that copy paste that 6 months of that shit, and then fucking finish that up and go back to being Josh. 18, 19 years old. Basically, just partied and did bad things for a long time.
Yeah.
And it got to the point to where I'm like, all right, Josh, you have to get a clearance because you're in the military.
Yeah.
So I think it was like year 8.
And you were in 20th group at the time?
Yeah, okay, the whole time. And I thought that I would never get it, so I avoided to apply for it. You
avoided.
And they were like,
SF
no, dude, like
86.
we're gonna kick you out if whatever. And then my mentor was SF Sergeant Major, and he's like, just be honest about everything. Just be honest.
Yeah.
Be your true self. And if you don't hide anything, you'll probably get it.
What year was that?
That was, 2011?
Okay.
2012 maybe. Whenever.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, fuck it. If they kick me out, whatever. So I told them this. I told them everything, and they're like, "Yeah, you're good. You got a clearance." I'm like, "Oh no shit!" So now I can actually pursue being an SF guy or whatever.
Yep.
And ended up working out. Like went to got selected, all that shit. But I went to the Q. I mean, it's still a piece of shit. I kind of fucked my career up and all that, but that's another story for another day. But.
Yeah, listen, same, right? And and I know a lot of, I think a lot of times when you hear people that are in special operations, and I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus.
Right, yeah.
And I know Tim Kennedy is currently just getting absolutely lambasted in the press, and good, bad, or indifferent, I'm not out here trying to shit on other veterans,
right?
Regardless,
yeah.
And at the end of the day, he is a Green Beret. He is a Green Beret. And if there was anything that I would want to do in a situation where a guy like Tim is getting hammered as much as he is, regardless if you are furious with whatever your thoughts may be, my number one thing is just dude, that's a guy in the regiment.
He's still a brother.
How do we get this guy right? You know what I mean?
See what the real problem is.
Yeah. Can
we fix it?
Yeah, because I know he's not just running around thinking to himself. He's like, at no point in time was Tim Kennedy running around being like, I want to lie about a bunch of shit and get rich.
Right.
Yeah, he was like, it wasn't in his notebook as a to-do item, right? So it's what's actually going on here, and how can we help this dude? But I say all that to say is, there's a lot of guys out there in the regiment, the special forces, or special operations, and and I think there's a lot of pressure and onus to come back and talk about your story from a lens of heroism, right?
Yeah. I'm doing the opposite, bro.
People
I want to let you know how I fucked it up.
Yeah, but people want you to be a hero.
Yeah, so they want.
People want you to be, and when people find out that I was like in the special forces, they're like, dude, one of the most common things I hear, they're like, damn, dude, you must have been like in it, right?
How many people did you kill?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Relax.
And, you know, and like, and at the end of the day, I'm like, hey man, like I've spent entire firefights just trying to change a battery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like got it fixed, and I was like, all right, dude, like, and they're like, it's over, bro.
Yeah, where's my gun?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your nods to find my gun?
Yeah. And when I was in the special forces, I spent so much time chasing that, like trying to chasing this idea that I could be a hero.
Yeah.
And I found myself in combat, in gunfights, in firefights, all this stuff. And every time I walked away, I never felt good about it. I always felt like a coward or less than or whatever.
Yeah.
And I say all that to say that's fine.
It's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And like, listen, I did a lot of great stuff, a lot of cool stuff in the military, and I made a lot of mistakes. Made a lot of mistakes in the military, and I'll be the first one to tell you: were there instances where people said like, "Hey, what you did was pretty heroic"? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. In some cases, they put it in writing,
right. But
there were plenty of other instances where I was less than. That was put in writing too. That was put in writing too. So like it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be a hero. Listen, like Audie Murphy, I'm pretty sure he's like married to his cousin and he was a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
That's a bad thing?
Yeah. Wait, we're not supposed to do that. But like, you know, it doesn't have to be either or. Right. Like you don't have to be beyond reproach. And I think that's important. And I think like the quicker everybody in the veteran community wraps their head around the idea that none of us are perfect and that some of us have done heroic things, but like, hey, like also at the same time, I've done bad shit too, brother.
Yeah.
Like I'm a normal ass man. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not beyond reproach. I'm not perfect. And my military career is representative of that. Did I do a lot of great stuff? Like, hell yeah, dude. But like, for me, I think what's most important about transition is feeling happy about what you did in the military, but doing everything you can do to make sure that the military is not the coolest thing you ever did.
There's so much more out there.
There's way more out there. And like, for me, it's been like having a good relationship with my wife. I got a bunch of chickens and dogs and like those things.
I've just learned how not to be a like cheating piece of shit,
dude. And like
just recently,
yeah. You know, and like, listen, if you can crack the code on just like being a good dude, because like here's the deal, it's hard. It takes like a bunch of deliberate work.
The easy shit is what people think is hard, and the hard shit is what some people is easy, right?
Yeah. Like, and maybe that's like the big trick, or maybe that's the big lie we're all telling ourselves is like everybody's walking around being like, being a present, faithful, husband is like the easiest thing to do in the world. Probably not.
It's been the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, if I look at the amount of people who have been in relationships for 50 years, I could probably count them all on one hand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because that takes real work because it's longitudinal and it takes consistent effort. Yeah. And you got to show up. Anything where you have to show up every day to do is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? It's a pain in the ass. Being physically fit, pain in the ass. Being on team, pain in the ass. You know what I'm saying? Being married, it's a pain in the ass because you have to show up and do it every single day.
And you got to make sure you're a pain in the ass to your spouse.
Yeah. I try not to be, man. I try not to be. And I tell everybody, like, because, when I met my wife, like I'd like just transitioned out of the military, started my own gym, and everybody was like, man, he's crushing it. I'm like, no, I'm 36 and I live with my mom. I'm living in my mom's condo. You know what I mean? And all the rest of my shit is in storage. And that's when my wife met me. My wife met me after I nearly bankrupted myself to open a gym, so I didn't have any money. You know what I'm saying? I was living with my mom. I was a mess. I was probably drinking too much. I was a mess. You know what I mean? And that's when she met me. And like the difference between who I was then and who I was now, and I attribute quite a bit of that to having the opportunity to have met her and have her support, is wildly different. I tell her all the time, if things don't work out, you're getting more than half, dude. You know what I mean? You are getting more than half. Because like I attribute a significant portion of my success specifically to her support. And I think it's because it's a real partnership.
And it's like a business, honestly.
It is like a business.
It's fucking like, and if you don't have that, you're going to fail.
It is like it's exactly like a business. Thank you for saying that. And I tell people that because like you would never. I think people would go spend money, make decisions, do a lot of different stuff, like things that are impactful without telling their spouse. Dude, you think I would go make a $200 purchase on a business credit card without telling my partner or I'd tell somebody in the business about it, particularly if I had I would tell them immediately. I'd like, Mike, dude, I got the card. I got the credit card.
Yeah.
I need to expense this thing. This is what it's used for. You would 100% tell your business partner about that. To think that you wouldn't tell your wife that or your partner that, and you're living with this person.
I had to learn, and she taught me.
Yeah.
Like, you put a lot of effort in these other things that you focus on. You need to start trying to do it the same thing at the fucking house.
At the house.
And it's like you pride yourself on being successful or being a good this or a good that or being the fastest guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Look at the other side of the coin. There's other shit there too. And I'm like, damn. And I spent years avoiding that.
Oh my God.
So,
yeah. And I didn't know. I mean, I didn't have a good idea of what it meant to be a good partner all the way up until, effectively I got introduced to the idea of being a good partner by my wife. You know, and it wasn't like she was like, it's not like she grabbed me by the neck and was like, you need to start being a good partner. But I just saw that the same way when I ran a business and it went well because I was communicative to the people I was working with and stuff like that. When I applied that to my relationship, inside the household, huge difference.
Oh yeah,
changed
just
everything.
say how you feel.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of times we avoid a relationship, like you avoid saying things because you're afraid of how that person's going to feel about it.
Yeah.
But the more important aspect is to make sure they actually know how you feel, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
Because that's really going to drive how you interact with each other.
Yeah.
So
and that's the thing. And my wife has seen the good, the bad, all this stuff. And I tell people, we had a really interesting conversation in my gym. I was talking to somebody who was single, and we were talking about like criteria. Like what are your criteria for like a man? Like what would you want? And they were like, and they named off a bunch of things. They're like 5'10" or taller.
Fuck.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Sorry again, man. Full head of hair. Made over $75K a year, and we had to bargain for that. I think they started out at $100K.
Yeah.
Physically fit. And I think one of them was like no kids or something. I don't even think that. But just like those things alone, you would be shocked at like it's like 1%. It's like 1% of all men.
But also, most men are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Because no.
Yeah. And this is at the end of that conversation. This is what we decided collectively. There was like 5 of us sitting there talking. Is you don't date somebody on you shouldn't necessarily date somebody on who they are, but like who they have the potential to be. And that's where I like tip my hat to my wife, because I think she saw a lot of potential in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she dated me for who I had the potential to be, not who I was. Because when she met me, sure, I was physically fit.
She was just investing in a product.
Yeah,
She's like, all right, we can work on.
She was like, the packaging is good. I was like, but we got to bring this thing to market. But over time, you know what I mean? I started meeting all the requisites, right? And started checking all the blocks. But I think it's important. And I think like in general, if you're investing in people, things, places, organizations, not necessarily in who they are right that second, but in what they have the potential to be. Because listen, nobody wants once you're successful, gorgeous, or once the company is growing at a rapid clip and everything like that. Now you're just trying to jump on the bandwagon. Yeah, it's like fuck right on off. Where were you when I was struggling, you bastard?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's funny because man, you see it. You're like. You made fun of me last year. Yeah. You called me a fucking this and that and that, and then now you're asking for a shirt. It costs $19.99, motherfucker. Yeah, get in line.
Here's the link to purchase. Scan the QR code.
And like my big like discounts and shit. I've given away with the research peptide company.
Yeah.
I think like $30,000 last year discounts just for veterans or SF guys. Yeah. And then there's still like some homies, they'll text say, dude, why is that so expensive? I don't fucking buy it, bro. Like, I've already given all this shit away. You know, like, what else do you want?
You know, it's funny because I remember same thing. You were like, you know, I had picked up some peptides from you like the year prior or something like that, and I was just like, just tell me what it costs.
That's what it should be. If like I'm gonna support you as a friend, if my friend has a business, I don't want a fucking discount. Actually, I'm gonna buy some shit even if I don't like it. You
would never in a million years walk into Target and be like, "Hey, dude, just FYI,
right?
I know the manager and I'm a veteran. Do you think I could get a discount on this Cat and Jack clothing for my kid?" They would fucking call the police.
They're like, "No, that's not how things work."
Yeah, they'd be like, "Brother, you're in Target. You know what I mean? You can not have a discount. Also, you're under arrest." But you would be, you know what I mean? They're like, "You're under arrest, bro." But like, you wouldn't. I know so many.
This isn't a bazaar.
Yeah, I know so many guys and gals that are just so quick to ask for a discount. And like they like have been in your house. They know your wife. They know your kids, and they're like, "Hey, I've seen that you work hard, and I've seen your place, and I've seen that this is how you're putting food on the table."
Dude,
but I'll tell you what, I'd love a discount. You know what I mean? Like, get on.
I know this is how you take care of yourself, but let me get some of it.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, man.
Dude, all right, this is a good story. Just happened the other day. We'll close it out here soon with this, but influencers, right? Fucking, oh man. So there's a guy, I'm not going to call him out directly. Anyway, he's got like a huge following. And I followed him and I DM'd him. He doesn't live too far away. I'm like, dude, I really like your content because I do like his content. I like how he promotes his message about fitness and stuff. Yeah. And, you know, he wants to talk about peptides. And then, you know, I've started to learn recently, like, your time is so valuable. Like, an hour on the fucking phone, it turns into, like, you know what other shit I could be doing? Yeah. But since this guy's got a good business and I like his shit, I gave him a conversation. And he keeps calling me, asking for advice, like, day after day. And then he starts to, like, and I'm, like, busy, so I send him a text, right? And he's like, "Hey, man, I'm 41 years old. You need to use some punctuation." And I was like, "Hold the fucking phone, brother." He
said you needed to use punctuation?
Yeah.
In your text messages?
Yes.
I'd have been like, "Whoa, brother."
And I'm like, "Hey, man, like, I've got businesses, I've got a fucking family, and I've got shit to do." I said, whenever these conversations you want with me start turning into fucking money, I'll spell some words right. Yeah. That shit just really triggered me, man, because I've already spent so much time. You haven't bought anything. And then, you know, you give me that. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't need your business. So
LeVar Burton over here from Reading Rainbow trying to tell you how to spell shit via text.
Let's not end on a super aggressive note. Like, fucking, this guy's going to...
Don't leave angry.
This dude's like 6'4", 300 pounds, too. So
oh, shit, man.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's a menace.
But anyways, man, to society. Hey, it was a great convo. Yeah. I'm glad you flew out. And, you know, short notice, too.
Yeah. Hey, flattered to be here. 100%, man. I really appreciate it.
Look forward to your growth, this, you know, everything else. And maybe we'll, you know, come back again and have some more coffee or whatever we like to do. So,
yeah, I would love to. Appreciate it, man.
All right, homie.
Okay, thank you.